Hello and welcome to Valorication Yoga. I am Valerie and I'm so happy that you're here. Today we're going to be working on a soothing practice. It's kind of your midweek or whenever you're practicing, kind of let go. We're going to check into the range of motion in our shoulders, which is oftentimes dismissed. Like, I don't really know how my shoulders move. And then we come into a yoga practice and there's a lot of shoulder movements. So let's see how your shoulder is moving today. And I encourage you to come back to this video from time to time to check into that range of motion in your shoulders because it changes over time and based on your activity. So you'll be on your back for this practice. You're going to want to have a strap with you for this practice too. Let's come onto our backs and begin this work. So I suggest having the knees bent in this practice, but the legs could be extended if that just feels better in your body. Coming down on the back and let your shoulders relax down onto the floor or on your mat. That's just a gentle reminder. Yoga comes from India and is traditionally an Indian practice. And in India, there wasn't yoga mats like we have today, right? So if you choose at home to practice on a rug or practice on grass or hardwood floor, that is absolutely perfectly fine. So as you come down on your back, grab onto that strap. If your strap is really long, I think it's like a 10 or 12 footer. If it's really long, you're going to double or triple it up. And then from here, you're just going to extend your arms up. And in fact, I'm going to triple mine up. It's pretty long. You're going to extend your arms up so that your shoulders, your elbows, and your wrists are just about in line here. When you get that situated, right, we're going to try to peel the shoulder blades away from the floor. So keep in mind shoulders that are moving here, but you might feel some movement into the hands, wrists, elbows, depending on how you usually move your shoulders. So the gaze is up. You're going to lift the arms with the shoulders peeling up away from the floor here. And then gently hug the shoulders back down to the floor. Shoulders lift and lower. Now for some of us, we're going to feel a lot of movement and we're going to think it's the shoulders, but in actuality, we're getting movement in the arms or the wrists because we are built in a way to reach for things, and that's supposed to be a shoulder action. But if something's been sticky in your shoulders, it may not be happening in your shoulders. It might be happening in, say, your elbow. So know where you're moving as you lift and lower. I'm going to come to seated. You can stay laying down, but I want you to see, if you need to, what that shoulder movement looks like. It's that hug in and then a release away from the floor and a hug in. Now for me, I have to be careful because my wrists like to do the movement. If you find that the strap is distracting, place it down and see if you can get the movements otherwise. The strap is meant to keep the arms closer to the body if they start to open out wide, okay? And if you're doing this on your own, because you might watch this video a couple times and then not need it because you get it, then I would suggest maybe 10 times of a lift and lower. Now, next time the shoulders are lowered, you're going to keep the shoulders down on your floor, keep your gaze up, and now we're going to reach the arms up and overhead, and bring your arms so they're back where we started, right in line with the shoulders here, shoulder distance. And continue that. Palms are facing forward with that strap grip. And what I'd like you to do is those first couple times, you're just feeling. You're feeling what's moving. You're feeling everything, not just the shoulders and arms, but down the spine to the belly and the chest, the hips and the legs. And then if you notice anything changing, like anything moving other than the shoulder or the arms, right? So if you grip around your belly, if your ribs start to flare or release out, right? If you press down into your feet or grip your jaw, I want you to notice all of those things because all of those things are compensations for the movement of the shoulder. So we all compensate. Nothing wrong with that, but over time, it might contribute to pain. So if you find any of that bracing, embrace it, just know it's there, right? Then, as we start to lift the arms up and overhead, I want you to lift the arms only to a point that that doesn't happen. There's no bracing, there's no movement other than the arms. And don't be surprised if the movement is much smaller than it was before. And really pay attention because sometimes we think we're moving, we think we're not bracing, but we are. So be very aware what is happening. And then with that, when we're no longer bracing, notice if that feels more easeful for you, more relaxed for you. And then we'll finish this up with just one more activity. And that is going to be lowering that strap down. So it comes down to the legs or the belly, and then lifting up. You're still keeping your shoulders down to the mat. You'll just lower and lift. And again, I want you to notice first, awareness first. Then if there is some of that gripping, bracing, then we're going to just move in a way that that doesn't happen. And these are all basic movements of yoga, basic arm movements in many yoga poses. So if it's happening here, it's happening in those poses too. In fact, it might be happening more. Come into a full range when you're ready. So that strap is coming down and all the way up. Again, looking for any of that bracing. If it's happening, just be honest with yourself. There's nothing wrong with it, right? There's nothing attributed to it. It's just movement. And so we're going to move in a way that's super supportive for you. So feel free, again, like I said, to try that out a few times. You can take this a little bit longer if you've set some time out today to practice this and just kind of check into what's going on. And if you have questions about this, feel free to add them into the comments. I'm happy to reach back out to you and give you some information. You can always reach out to me directly too through my email, and I'm happy to help you out with all of that. But yeah, do try that out. I do it time to time, and it's really helped to relieve some shoulder congestion for me in practice. So I hope you enjoyed that, and thank you so much for being here.